Shannon, do you have a problem with this?
Yeah, because it's a huge overreaction. Skip Bayless, and you know it.
I don't know, but
hold on. How you beat a bad team at home and you jump 7 spots? Since you cool with that?
I'm hot with that.
Yeah. I bet you are hot with that. Come on, Skip. Let's be all the way 100. The Giants are a bad football team. You know that. I know that. I'm trying to figure out they were bad defensively last year, and they lose 2 of their best defensive players, Olivier Vernon and Landon Collins, and somehow you expected them to get better. There's a reason why Dak had all day to throw the football. He put him in the Hall of Fame right now. If he plays the Giants 16 more times this year, guess what? He's going to the Hall of Fame. Because he'll put up those exact same numbers, maybe even more. Maybe more because Zeke will be healthy because they'll run him and they'll really have to step down. Zeke had a quiet day and he threw for 4 or 5. No, it's an overreaction. I was way more impressed with what the Titans did or what the Rams. What about the Packers? Go on the road on a Thursday night and beat Chicago, who won the division. Isn't that more impressive than what your team did? Absolutely.
Against Mitchell Trubisky?
Against Eli Manning?
Yeah.
When last time Eli been good? Commodores was still a hit.
Ooh,
yeah, long time. Yeah, Lionel Richie was with the Commodore. He been gone. He been on his own a long time.
The Commodores are hits every year. Their baseball team, their football team.
Nobody talking about this.
You mean Lionel Richie? Oh, okay.
We talking about those. We talking about the group that was formed at Tuskegee. Yeah. Those Commodores.
We won the national championship in baseball. Go ahead.
You gave it. We made it too easy for him there.
I believe there are more deserving teams, especially teams that have more impressive resumes after week 1. The Titans going to Cleveland and dismantling them. Green Bay going to Lambeau. The Rams going to Carolina. Come on, Skip. And the Eagles down 17-0, 27 at the half to show the resolve to come back and beat them 32-3. They scored a meaningless touchdown. Mess up my prediction.
Yep, they messed it up. I told you can't do it. It's too many points.
Skip, let's go
division battle.
Why do you even care about scoring with 6 seconds? You down by 100 points.
Because
but anyway,
they got my back.
Yeah, exactly.
And they better not have it this time.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson need to rush about 200 on you guys. But no, I think that's way too high for a team that was 14th, beat a bad Giants football team and leap 7 spots. Yeah, I got a problem with it.
And I don't.
I bet you don't.
Finally, the world is starting to see what I have seen the whole offseason. I spent the whole NFL offseason having to sit across from you in this chair while you ridiculed my Cowboys and their hopes, their long shot chances of being even decent in 2019. And I told you 3 months ago, I'm looking at a Super Bowl loaded roster that has a chance to break through right on schedule this year and get to the Super Bowl in Miami. We'll be there. Cowboys will be there. How many times did I tell you that?
Cowboy fan will be there, which will be you.
Yeah. I've told you the entire offseason that Dak Prescott had become, and I'm doing it past tense now because he's starting to get some respect, but I told you he had become the most underrated, underappreciated quarterback in the National Football League, and at times I was starting to think historically in the National Football League. He got no respect from you after getting Amari last year and going 10 games with top 5 statistics, including the most completions in the entire NFL and the most, according to Pro Football Focus, catchable balls thrown in the NFL over the last 10 games.
Yeah, he turned into check down Charlie. Just dump it down to Zeke.
He was 3rd over those 10 games in called air distance and how far the pass traveled to the receiver. So he was no longer dinking and dacking. And he sure wasn't dinking and dacking on Sunday because it was bombs away. And I told you the whole offseason, Kellen Moore is going to change life in Dallas because he's going to revitalize, unleash, open up an offense just waiting to burst onto the scene. And we saw it on Sunday.
Skip, can we get a look? We're not in Costco or Whole Foods where they give you a sample and then you go buy the product. Can we get a larger sample size before you start heaping this kind of praise? That's all I'm asking. Is that asking too much to get a larger sample size?
So we had a large sample size on Case Keenum before Sunday, and you dismissed him by giving him little to no respect. You were close to garbage level for Case Keenum. Am I right about that?
He's a backup.
He's a good backup, but he started at Philadelphia against your Super Bowl team, right?
Yes.
Did you pick him to win the Super Bowl?
Don't worry about what I picked. I said
I think you said win, but I
No,
can't
I think
remember.
I got Kansas City. I don't know.
can't
I think I
remember?
got Kansas City to win.
Yeah, see, I have no doubt about who I picked to win the Super Bowl. It's Tom Brady. So I don't
Well,
waver.
you
You can't
that
remember.
clear.
You just like 7 years in a row.
Okay, all right, whatever. Case Keenum goes to Philadelphia on Sunday, and he goes 30 of 44 for 380 yards
Okay.
with a QBR of 74, which was very high on Sunday.
Was
And
it
that
high to walk into him?
No, it was not. But that was the fourth most yards any quarterback threw for, and launched them into a 17-0 lead. And I don't care about Walkatuum. I care about Walkatuum's defensive unit,
Yeah.
which looked flammable to me.
Yeah.
It looked torchable to me.
Yeah.
It did not look like a top 5 defense to me. And
Underestimated.
again, they have been in the top 5 the whole offseason. Every power ranking had Philly top 5 somewhere, 3, 4, 5, and had Dallas 15th to 20th through the offseason. So is it overreaction against the Giants? What did I tell you about the Giants? The reason I wouldn't take the bet with you on Friday, we're doing the
7.5.
points, and the spread was 7.5.
Yeah.
The reason I wouldn't do the 7.5 was because if you look at what the Giants did last year with virtually, I know you talked about the losses they had, but virtually the same roster, and Saquon, whom you call the best running back in football,
Hey, didn't
right?
he prove it?
Okay.
Didn't he prove
All
it
right.
Sunday?
Okay. Well, so are they garbage or not garbage?
No,
Okay?
the
But wait a
defense.
second. Last year, the Giants went 7-1 on the road against the spread because they constantly got underrated by Vegas because they have the core, sort of the guts of a good football team that will fight you. And when you got division battles going on opening Sunday, all bets are off. They scare me to death.
Well, what normally happens when a team covers that much on the road, they normally fall behind by a large margin, and the opposing team is like all of a sudden they get very cautious and like, we don't do anything. And the next thing you know, they score a touchdown like Washington with 6 seconds to go, and they backdoor cover you.
Okay? It happens. That's why 10 too many in a division rival, and you lost again. Okay? But we didn't have anything to bet on.
We didn't have anything better.
Okay? You're lucky on that one. But the point is, the Giants still have players. They still have a guy you think is one of the top corners in football named Janoris Jenkins. I've heard again and again, Jack Rabbit. He puts the cuffs on you, right?
Yeah.
So what did Dak Prescott do on the first play of the game on Sunday? The very first play, opening play. Giants win and defer. So they just said, we don't have any respect for Dak Prescott. He's not going to hurt us.
I don't blame him.
Okay. So first play, 1st and 10, whatever it was, 25.
Yep.
Dak drops back, and he says, I'm going at you, Jack Rabbit, because I have a real receiver. I don't have Des Bryant anymore. You can lock up Des Bryant, who runs like 3 routes in his tree. But I got Amari Cooper, and you're single on Amari over there. Watch what we do. And he throws not a deep out, but a sort of a medium deep out for 13 yards to Amari. And it was just an opening statement. Watch this. So if you eye test what you saw, Cowboys versus Giants, you saw Dak Prescott at his new best. You saw him continue to carry the momentum of last year right into game number 1. I don't care if they were playing Oklahoma's defense on Sunday. And I'm taking a shot at my own team because I still don't trust that defense.
You shouldn't.
It's one of the worst Big 12 defenses, even though it might be a little better than it was last year when it was the worst good team defense in the history of college football. But I don't care if last year's OU defense was playing Dak Prescott. You could just see what you saw. You saw him throw with conviction and authority and look like a top 10 quarterback. You saw accuracy. You saw arm strength. You saw readability where he was just quick scanning and firing to weapon upon new weapon, Randall Cobb. You saw the offensive line healthy, and I will give you that he had time, and they ran the football a little bit. I think they're going to run it a whole lot more at Washington, and they will be balanced. But right now, they are starting to look like a little more of a deep threat passing team because I told you all offseason, Michael Gallup will emerge. We heard our man Chris Carter say it at the end of First Things First. He is legit, big-time, deep threat receiver. Dak loves him, trusts him. So when you've got Gallup and Amari and Randall Cobb out of the slot, you got firepower, right?
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.